Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
It's very good to have you all come out to our Interfaith Council's One World, Many Beliefs series. We've been doing this monthly, second Monday of the month? Is it second? Yeah, roughly. Right here at the Warren Park Library. And so this month we have the chance to have a presentation on the Sikh religion, and super excited about that. Last month we had Islam, and August, is that
Humanism.
Humanism, yes. So if you're interested, of course you can always talk to us and see which ones we have on our calendar going forward, but looking forward to this one. We have Jasbir, who is going to present on the Sikh religion. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have an enjoyable time. Please, if you can, fill that kind of card out that gives us information about your experience and your information so we can stay in contact as well. So thank you so much. I didn't introduce myself. I am Christian Taylor. I'm one of the board members of the Interfaith Council of Central Florida. I also serve as a director of mission over at our Advent Health corporate campus. So good to be with you all and happy to meet you. Jasbir, thank you so much for joining us. Just so he's been a part of our Interfaith Council for many years, 22 years you said, as part of our Traditions Council, and so I'm very happy to hear what you have to say.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's indeed a great pleasure and a privilege to be able to come here and share some thoughts with you about this religion or the philosophy of life. My name is Jasbir Singh, Bhatia, last family name, and that's common name for all Sikh males. Singh is middle, common for my today we will talk about Sikhism as is commonly known. In our religious terminology called Sikhi, is way of the Sikhs. And the word Sikh, I'll give some definition later on. Sikh is just like a disciple, a devotee. It's essentially the word of Shishya. Even in a classroom, for example, someone studying history, geography, the students, like, they're also called Shishyas. But in this specific case, all those who are religious masters and their devotees, they were called Sikhs. So that's how the name Sikhism, British gave us. That's how it came to be. These are some of the topics I will cover today, but we can go on later on. My first question to you: what's religion? And what does it do to us? Why do we have families? So we need food. We need food. We know why. We need clothing. We need to have a place to live. What's this religion? Why do we have it? Anybody wants to answer the question?
To believe in something?
Put your faith in it. Yes. And along with comes some rules, some doctrines, some beliefs which guide our life. Yeah, good answer. We can discuss it later in view of the knowledge philosophy, but that's basically it, because we believe that there's something beyond our life, something superhuman, something that controls the universe in a way. So people first made gods out of rains, some of fire, things like that, because they thought there's something strange. So human endeavor has always been directed towards progress, seeking peace and prosperity. But too often it has been clouded into major and minor conflicts based on a variety of reasons, political, social, religious, etc. And the energies which should have been directed positively but are used to have destructive consequences. The lack of even think and express skills, innovative capacity, and economic progress. I believe the important role of religion is to promote human spirituality. As you have said, believe in something higher. And encouraging recognition of commonality of human race. That's how we look at it. Respect for diversity. We're all diverse beings, but still the power we have faith in is all one. And this leads to a harmonious, peaceful life. such circumstances, there's increased interaction between various communities and nations, leading to economic prosperity and peace. Why I'm saying all this is, that's the foundational principles of Sikhism. But the reality is that religions have become more divisive. Political tools for exploitation and suppression of people. It has been weaponized to use against others. People need to practice religion. They don't go into the purpose of religion, what it's meant for. But they are oblivious to that fact. But they continue to practice their traditions, their whatever calls for religion. Yeah. So, evolution of religions. We know from history of the world, first there were kings who used to call themselves the gods. They assumed the role of God. They promulgated their own arbitrary rules on people, whatever suited them. Basically was to control the people. And you might have seen old movies, how they were exploited, tortured, things like that. Lord Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon him. So we have seen different times, different places in the universe, on earth, different individuals came upon and tried to give some better sense to human life. They were directed to basically more peaceful, more harmonious, just, truthful, things like that, higher values of life. In similar circumstances, Guru Nanak was born in India, 1469. We call him Guru because in our language, Guru is like your Messiah, prophet. For us, is a spiritual master, something we call him. A spiritual teacher, something. And Guru Nanak was not a usual personality. Even as a child, he refused to participate in the Hindu religious traditions, because he was born in a Hindu family. India's predominant religion was a religion, so-called religion. Truly speaking, it's not a religion. It's the name of the people who lived that side of river Indus, and the name came to be. But there are Vedic religion, there are Tantric religion, there are Shaivites, there are so many streams of things, and they all call themselves Hindus. So he was very unusual in a primary school when he was studying with a Muslim teacher. And in Muslim teacher, Urdu language on Arabic base, other fish was written like one. And Guru Nanak, I would say child Nanak, asked the teacher, who was a mullah, what is the meaning of all of one? It's just a letter, like A. What's the meaning of A? Just that. No. He said, no, teacher. One means this, only one. And in Hindu practice, as the child will come to the adolescent age, like 11, 12 years, they have thread ceremony. And thread ceremony is based on the caste. Your higher caste, the thread which go around your body is like a loop, is made of wool. If you go to lower class, it's made of cotton, and so on and so forth. If you go third class, it's jute, and fourth is shudras, lowest class they are not given now. It was a symbol of your caste. I'll come to caste system later on. But this was the ways, and he refused to participate. Women are not allowed to have this thread. And when he was asked to do so, if Brahmin came, Pandit, he refused to do that. He said, my sister is older than me, why don't you give it to her first? He said, no, she's a woman. She cannot have it. He had a childhood friend who was a Muslim. He said, why don't you give it to him? He was a boy. No, he's a Muslim. He cannot have it. So he said, I refuse to get it. Next. So that was the tendencies of the child Nanak, which proved that he was not an ordinary person. There's so many episodes in the early life of Guru Nanak that are so amazing. And where did he get all this wisdom? So I talk about 1469, 15th century when he was born. What were the social and religious practices in India at that time? The country was ruled by the invading dynasties. First came Lodhis people from Afghanistan. They ruled India for many, many years. Then afterwards came Mughals. First Mughal, second Mughal defeated, and then again people from Afghanistan they took over, and so on. So ultimately, Mughals dynasty lasted about 200 years in India. And the time of his birth, it was Skandar Lodi who was the ruler. And after that came Babur. He invaded India and Babur defeated him. They were of Islamic religion background. Whatever I say about Islamic and the behavior of these people is not a reflection of Islam. That's not my intention. Please. So they are very expressive, very barbarous. People were slaughtered left and right. There was forced conversions also. And Guru Nanak, afterwards when he became mature, he wrote Gurbani. Gurbani means writing of the Gurus. He says kings are like tigers, lions, and their officials are like dogs who prey upon the people. Such was the social environment. And other side, the majority people were so-called Hindus. That was the religion of India. Not only Hindus, but there are Buddhists and Jains. And in Hinduism, there are many streams of religious practices. A tantric religion, there were Shaivites, and they believed in mythological and imaginary gods and goddesses. They worshipped them differently. Every town and village made up their own divine figure, and they worship them. Some of them made by paper, some made by wood. That kind of environment there was. And there were priests who were acting like demigods as the representatives of God, who exploited people. It was unimaginable the way they exploited them and gave them the fear of future life if they do not do good karma, or they don't wash away their sins. For that they had given large donations. Even women were donated. They used to do religious rites, and one of the conditions was that the person who's getting the rites done in the home, he may have given up his life to the Brahmins. And they said, no, they are there to serve the God in the temple, but you know what happened. There's something called Charan Seva, serving the feet of the Lord, that women used to go to him by the insistence of the parents or family, and they gladly accepted it. They considered that as an honor. I'm not exaggerating. There's a movie going on right now on Netflix. I saw the other day and I was shocked. Name of the movie is Maharaj. It's on Netflix. If you have the patience to watch it, it'll tell you, in the late 1800s, during the British time, this practice was continuing. And there was a priest in the city who was just treated like a god. And whenever he walked, people lay down on it, he would just walk over them. So that kind of thing was the situation. If you truly want to understand the condition of India, religious environment, there are two wonderful books which I have written. William Dalrymple, 9 Lives in Search of Sikh in India. William Dalrymple, he lived in India for many years. He traveled around and he wrote this book. It's just amazing. Likewise, there's by David Gordon White's book, Kiss of the Yogini. That's also amazing. That tells you the leader, what was India and those centuries. And that's when you try to understand what Guru Nanak was saying in the 15th century. Caste system. Caste system is such a curse. The Western world does not understand the depth of this system and how it exploited people, majority people in India. Even in a non-technological society, majority people are labor. Few people are at the top, then there are the rich people, and then there are labor. And all labor was considered like a low caste people. It's hard to explain the condition of those. They were living like a subhuman condition. You know slavery, you know what in South Africa, this apartheid, or do you spell the apartheid, apartheid, how do you pronounce it?
Apartheid.
Apartheid, okay. You know some of those things, you're aware of those. But caste system is so guarded secret in India, the Western world doesn't understand. And still prevalent today. It has been there for 20 centuries. And now people are rising, they are learning what happened there. I'm very sorry to have to say some graphic words. I learned recently there was a system in some part of India, southern India. There was tax on low caste women about the size of their uppers. That was the thing. All that money went to the rich people, high caste people. You can imagine. Guru Nanak challenged these practices and he initiated a revolution that gave to the world a vision of the new spiritual, social, and political order based on the belief of one God, the divine, the one creator, and consequently universal acceptance of all humanity without discrimination of gender, race, caste, social status, and faith traditions. We should believe in God. You believe in God. It doesn't matter if you're a Christian or a Jew or Sikh or a Hindu. The understanding what God is like is maybe different. But at least your belief is that there's something higher than us, which has created this world, controlled this world. So that's where Guru Nanak is coming at that time. And he basically, a simple message is that the same divine spirit dwells in all of us. We're all his God's children. There should be no discrimination, race of anything. It's a simple message, God conscious and truthful living and respect for all humanity. That's what the basis of Sikhism. We don't believe in any mythological gods. No priestly class. Rejection of the caste system, even though unfortunately being practiced in some parts of India even today. Equality of humanity and genders, economic equitability, and social justice, selfless service. These are the hallmarks of the Sikh life. Rejection of rituals as not being beneficial for ultimate realization of the divine. We don't believe in any rituals. Some people say ritual will keep us reminded that this is a religion, we have to deal with it. To that extent, may be okay. But to say that this ritual is done, that's how my job is done. No, that's not. Rejection of asceticism. India, particularly, people used to leave their homes and go to jungles and caves, become ascetics, or sadhus as we call it. Hindu religion practice celibacy. It's like, no, it's not God's way. God has created us both, men and women. It's the natural law. We should have families. Live a family. Buddhism, for example, teaches that the householder cannot achieve nirvana. Only the monks can do. Sikhism says no. Everybody has the right and the opportunity to achieve higher spiritual elevation. Those men, women who are serving family, they are doing God's will. God's will. Guru Nanak, as I said, he was born in 1469. At the age of 30, he received revelation. This brief story, I don't want to take too much of your time. He went to take bath in a nearby rivulet, a stream. Because there was no running water or something. People used to take bath in the tanks, in ponds or rivers, whatever. And he said that he went in the water, didn't come out for 3 days. People thought he's dead. Something he thought drowned or whatever. But after 3 days he reappeared. And one day, first day he kept quiet, silent, but then he said there's no Hindu, there's no Muslim. They were the two main communities. And people say he's gone crazy. We are Muslims, they are Muslims, they are Hindus. How can he say there are no Muslims? What he meant was, then God said, there's no such thing like religion. God doesn't recognize people by what religion they follow. He recognizes what actions they do, what deeds they do. So that's what continued. There are some of the definitions. Guru, as I mentioned, is like Sikh, I told you, Gurwani, the writings of our Gurus, plus scripture, because of the writings of the Gurus by themselves, in their own hands. Guru Granth Sahib is a large compilation of these writings. And it contains not only the beauty is not only the Sikh Gurus, themselves, 6 of them, but also the Muslim and Hindu saints of the time. Their writings are also included. Those who have similar views about life as Guru Nanak. So this way we respect all people regardless of what their religious background is, as long as their thought process is similar. So there are 15 of such saintly people called the Bhaktas, whose writings are included in the Granth Sahib. Kirtan is singing the glory of God as expressed in Gurwani. If you come to Gurdwara for experience it, you'll see that's all what we do. They sing the verses from Guru Granth Sahib. Music is very central to our practice. And that's what Kirtan means, singing the glory of. Greeting. When I meet somebody, I say Sat Sri Akal, which means that this God is only one reality. That's only true. Sometimes while you get Khalsa, we mean we belong to the same Vaheguru, and all our work, our achievements are the grace of God. So we dedicate our achievements to God. Now, I talked about God. The narrative of God is central to most religions, but the understanding may be different. Some people believe that God lives somewhere in the heaven, some sky part of it. Others believe that He is somewhere in the universe and is separate from creation. But Sikhs believe that God and the creation is one and the same. He is reflected in everything is created. Animals, we, all of you, all the vegetation, trees, plants, that's His reflection. The detail is that He called it one. Ik means one, number one. Omkar. Writings as per scriptures, it says when there was nothing in the universe, or darkness, no sun, no moon, no celestial bodies, nothing. There was one thing, in a state of Sunna Samadhi. Sun means still, totally numb. Samadhi means state of transition, trance. And that thing He called it one. That's one ultimate reality. The universe can be created, can also be destroyed, but that will always remain. And that's eternal. And Omkar is a cosmic melody, a cosmic sound, a vibration which we can't hear, emanates from here, from this one, and that permeates throughout the universe, and that's the source of all creation. It's to give you the example, a crude example, like the sun. We need sun for existence. All the earth, everything, body, work, plants, we need sun. The sun itself doesn't come to us. It's the rays that come to us. And they go throughout wherever the sun can be reached. It's something like that. But it's just a crude example. That's not quite accurate. But give you a perception of how it was. That's how what we call ego, God. And that's our understanding of the divine. That has some attributes which are, it exists throughout, is part of the creation. And also just without the creation, before the creation also existed. It does not have any anger, animosity against anybody, no emotional feeling like humans. It does not have any animosity against anybody. It's just love. Some people say, universe is all love, and that's what it is. Yes, it is. If you have different words to express it, but the meaning is that's what it is. And it's a self-born, it is not born any time, not born of anybody, anything. It's self-existent. It's called Mool Mantra in terminology, which is the core principle of Sikh theology, I would say. The whole universe operates under His will. Whatever happens in the universe on a macro level happens under the will of that being. And Guru Nanak has provided profound insights into the nature of reality, the divine, and the human experience. And it characterized by a sense of divine unity, love, and spiritual enlightenment. The principle once again emphasizes the oneness of divine in the creation. There is interconnectedness of all existence. God is omnipresent, it can be realized through meditation, selfless service, and devotion. Interconnectedness, very important to understand. We are all interconnected. The same spirit is the person. We breathe out carbon dioxide, trees take carbon dioxide, give us oxygen back. We are interconnected. There are experiments done by scientists in plants, how they feel. I've seen a video. And they had a small garden, and they put all the electrodes on the plants and check the vibrations of the electrodes. And one of them went and took something like a hatchet and cut the plants, 2 or 3. There was so much vibration change in from the diodes, electrodes. Then they came back. Everything became quiet again. The same person, without any tool in his hand, he just walked by. The moment he was walking by that particular plant, the same vibrations showed. But the plant he recognizes. Who is the one who caused it down? It's a scientific aspect. So this is what we're talking about. What does it mean that we have to respect all creation? The only lesson from here we have is that we have to respect all creation. We use it for our existence, which is again God's way of life. But we are all interconnected. It emphasizes the importance of inner spiritual understanding over external rituals. He believed that the true spirituality transcends religious boundaries and rituals. As mentioned before, spirit is one. Spirit is one. Spirituality is one. Doesn't matter if you are a Sikh, Hindu, Jew, Christian, whatever. And instead focuses on cultivating a personal relationship with the divine through love and devotion. We even, in the Gurbani writings, we use all the names of the gods which are prevalent at that time. The writing says, Koi Bole Ram Ram. Some people call him Ram, Hindu God. Some call him Khuda. Some call him Gusai, some call him Allah. So he says all the names point to the same. Naam Simran is a very common central theme of the Guru Nanak teachings. Naam Simran. What it means is, Naam, just like your name, Dev, is not just your body. The entire qualities of you, your education, your personality, total what you stand for, represented by your name. There may be many Davids anywhere, but when we talk about you, we talk about day by day. Likewise, we assign a name to God, like people call him Ram, some call Allah. But what it means actually is that divine being, the one who is in all of us, one who controls the whole universe. That name, that one, we should remember, keep in our hearts. We should always be conscious of that being through a name. Because name reveals the total personality of that divine being. So Naam Simran, some people chant it, some people just remember by heart. The whole idea is that our life should be God-centered. And when we remember God, we become centered based on that we at this time are remembering God. And that should be not just any time of the day, morning or evening. It should be a normal way of life, like we breathe. We don't say, okay, this time or that time. So remaining God conscious is a common way of living. And that keeps you always devoted to righteousness, be good human being. So that's what we emphasize. Guru Nanak emphasizes the importance in living life of moral integrity, compassion, and humility. He taught that the true spiritual realization is accompanied by selfless service and realization in the inherent dignity and equality of all beings. Once again, as I said, is respect for all beings. That's all. We call sometimes 3 pillars in Sikhism, or 3 main ideas which guide our life. It's called being God conscious through Naam Simran, as I mentioned. Earning of livelihood ethically, be honest with. Share the needy within your capacity. A charitable nature in general. You may know that we have Rishabh Langar in our Gurdwaras. Gurdwara is our temple, the name is called Guru's place. And after every service, free food is served to all people who came. And regardless who they are, some people come to us who are Muslim, some come from India. So welcome. Nobody ever questions who you are, why you are here. Anybody, if you want to experience, just walk in, sit with it, listen, enjoy the food, vegetarian food. And even in times of disasters, we distribute feed people to many who need it. During COVID time, average for almost a year plus, we have been sending out 400 meals every weekend. In India, in time of COVID, hospital did not have enough ventilators. A Sikh gentleman from England, who was a pilot, he bought so many of these ventilators, took a plane, piloted his own plane, went to India and gave it free. Devoting your time to needy. You should mentor some guy who needs your help, your guidance. That also is service. In any form, if you need somebody, you help somebody, that's service. But not when you expect something back. I did to you, you must do this to me. No, that's not service. In our life, we say there are 5 impediments which are negative values of life which keep us away from spirituality. They are lust, anger, greed, attachment, possessiveness, and ego. They are dominant forces that influence our lives. And Guru Nanak describes these as impediments or a barrier to attain higher levels of spiritual achievement. The word Maya is very common, you may know the word Maya in Indian philosophy. And what Maya means? Maya means all the glamour of life, the wealth, what we see, people spend their life assembling wealth and endless amount of wealth, by all means, possible means. Ultimately, what for? You are born empty-handed. What for? Sure, you work hard, you earn money for your livelihood, you have a right to live happy and comfortable life. But beyond that, when you hurt some other people's, the other people's rights to acquire that wealth, there is no way. Everything leave behind every time. So that's what we call this Maya. Obsessive indulgence in the worldly pleasures and things is we call it Maya. And we strongly, the religion strongly discourages us to go into that. Because that's a source of suffering. If you want to have peace, you need to have contentment in your life. Without contentment, nobody's ever happy. You want more and you want more. So that's what we define Maya. Such a. We emphasize noble values of as we below for happy worldly life and achieving higher spiritual consciousness. It's a way to achieve freedom from birth and death cycles while living this life. Truthfulness, righteousness, mercy, compassion, contentment, I mentioned to you, and patience, perseverance. I mentioned here the birth and death cycles. In our Gurbani writing, there's a lot of mention about birth and cycle. Those who remain in Maya, they remain entangled with this life, birth and death cycles. It is so because the predominant Hindu thinking was that if your karma is not done, you'll continue to be reborn, so-called reincarnation. Guru Nanak says that you can get rid of this cycle, even this life, if you live your life with these things keeping in mind. Don't worry about what your past karma was. So there are two interpretations, whether we believe in it or not believe in it. Some people say, yes, there is. Others say, no, this is a way to express to the people, hey, you should remain locked up in this Maya, entangled with this, you will definitely continue to live on. Way to discourage them. So it's a confusion. Some people say there is, some people say there isn't. So it doesn't matter, I leave it at that. But main thing is that while living this life, you have the opportunity to achieve redemption, to get rid of this birth and death. Some people call Sikhism a very mystical. It is because Guru Nanak expresses with all these writings, if you go through Guru Granth Sahib, it's expressing the glory of God and love. He says we all humans are like soul brides, and that God is our only husband in that way, in a spiritual sense. So the writings express divine love. Like a bride is missing her husband, our beloved, she is not happy, she is alone. So there are some things which I will come later on. And nature. Guru Nanak says we are a part of this nature, we are one element of this nature. And one of the typical writing is Bihari Kudat Vasya. That one God dwells within the nature and he is beyond any limits. Vismad means mysticism, mystic experience. For Guru Nanak, even flowing water is mystic. Flowing air is mystical. The earth is mystical. All the fire, the playful fire is also mystical. And all the regions of the world, the earth and the vegetation is all mystical. How you put a seed, a tree comes out of this. A tree has a tree, it flowers, gives a fruit. Fruit has a tree in it, the seed. Put the seed in the earth, another tree comes. So such a mystical experience, amazement. That's what Guru Nanak is saying. So wondrous is air, water, fire, blissful earth and its creation. There's one quote here. That, for example, one of the verses in this was "Bel mere preet manjio, tud bel kari maan. Naina neend na aave, aave na nimaan. I wish to meet my beloved Lord. Without you, I'm lonely. I cannot sleep, not any food at least. That kind of thinking. I don't know whether I can bring this down. I have written clip, music clip, if you want to listen. And this is what he, I don't know how to bring it down. Yeah, you can help me.
Be able to just click on it.
Can you help me? Sure. See this loudspeaker? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
See if we
Yeah, do. It's going. It's going.
can just make sure we have the sound. Oh, let me try one thing.
Just lift your lips, it's okay.
Might take me a minute, sorry.
It is nothing good, no sound.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
Might
You
take
should
me
click on that mic thing and raise that volume. Right inside.
Yeah, I think I need to change the audio source so that it comes through the room.
Oh, okay.
That might be my hang up here.
Not. I just got curious.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Maybe at the end I can play it.
I can play it on mics. Myself.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Business. No, that's almost the end of my presentation. Further, for example, there is a verse here. Oh, my son going ahead. Sunna Prabhu Jyoy Kalai Varma. Listen, my beloved God. I'm all alone in the wilderness. How can I find comfort without you? That's just the flavor of the writings I gave. So that's all what I have to say. Any question? Thank you so very much for listening. Welcome. One question. Yeah.
Thank you. Do you have services?
Yes.
How do they go?
Every
What-
Friday night we have from 7 to 8:30 on On Sundays we have 11 to 12:30, up to 1 almost sometime, followed by lunch. Welcome anybody, welcome. Yes.
Is that your, I've driven by it on Rouse Road, is that your,
It's on
Temple.
Aloma, if you go on Aloma Avenue, cross Dean Road,
yeah, it's on Rouse?
on the, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, if you cross Dean Road and before Chapman, in Midway, it's exact 1 mile from Dean on the
Yes.
Aloma, the right hand side.
And can you talk about what takes place there? That's where you have your services?
Yes, that's, it's our
Do
temple.
people live there?
We have the so-called granthis or so-called, they're not priests per se, but they're almost like priests. They are working for us, we pay them. They're well versed in the writings, they're well versed in music. So they're like our employees in a way. And they do the service, they live there. There are separate quarters for them. Gurdwara, and we are under Sikh Society of Central Florida. But the Gurdwara is a generic name, like a temple, like a church. We call it Gurudwara. Gurudwara means Guru. I'll explain to you. Dwara means door. The door of the Guru, or a place of the Guru. That's all. You're very welcome.
And I have one more question.
Please, please.
Okay, when you were reading from the language and translating, the translation, was that strictly from Hindu, or do you have a dialect separate from the Hindu language, or?
As for Hindi, there's no such thing like Hindu language.
Okay,
India has 17 official languages.
okay,
Hindi is one of them. There are Hindi, there's Bihari, Bengali, Punjabi, Tamil, and so many. We come from Punjab. Guru Nanak was born in part of India, which was part of Punjab. And Punjabi is the language of the people of Punjab. Therefore, writings are in the Punjabi script. But it has employed 15 languages. It has Persian, it has Arabic, it has Hindi, Braj Bhasha, even Sanskrit. So wherever Guru Nanak went to the people, he addressed them, he tried to use their language. The writings are in one script, which is Gurumukhi. Gurumukhi, the language itself, the script itself was devised by the Gurus themselves. Because in India, low caste people were not permitted to educate themselves. Therefore, Guru had to devise a separate writing material, writing language, so that what people speak, they can write in that language and also learn. They had schools all the time along with the Gurdwaras. So that's also part of it.
is Punjab in the north
Punjabi
or the
is,
south?
I would say Punjabi. Punjabi is the north.
Punjabi, is it the north?
North Punjabi.
I don't know the
Yeah,
geography.
Punjabi. In people in Pakistan, for example,
Okay,
they also speak Punjabi. The Punjab part of Pakistan, they also speak Punjabi. Yeah. They write it through the Persian script. It's called Shamukhi, but we write our own Gurumukhi language.
thank you.
Yeah.
What's it like to be of the Sikhi religion in the United States? Is there a lot of people in Sikhism here in the
Yes.
States, and how accepted is that?
Well, I'm expected. Yes, I think there's a total, some estimate number is about 500 million Sikhs who are from India, from Indian origin. Many come from Malaysia, some people come from Singapore who have been residents of those places long centuries. But now Sikhs are almost in every free country of the world. The total population is about 25 to 30 million Sikhs in the world. And maximum concentration is in Canada, USA, and Australia, and England also. The first immigration came to England, because in England, India was one of the colonies of Britain. So many people got educated in England, even when the British ruled in India. Our grandfather was an attorney who was educated in England. But also now, because of the religion and simplicity, and one of the leaders here, Bhajan Yogi, he also included yoga as a part of the practice. The yoga is not a religious thing, but it helps you to better your body and concentration focus. A lot of people who are so-called American Sikhs, they have converted to Sikhs. And not only Americans, they hold every year a winter solstice in Florida, in Lake Wales. And I have met people from Russia who have become Sikhs, Australia, New Zealand, Mexico, Brazil, Peru, Chile. I understand that Chile, the second religion now is the Sikhs. So Sikhs are all over. Yes, ma'am. I think you have a question. Yourself.
Me?
Yeah. I thought you were about to say something. Go ahead. Don't be shy. Anything you want to
I
ask.
appreciate this library because it would bring this kind of lectures, environment and culture to all of the people. I can hardly imagine even in US, anywhere else would have a similar kind of environment and openness to religion.
And I think that's the main reason for progress in this country. I have said in my first line, when you have freedom to express yourself, you have to work together. One time in the White House, they celebrated the birth of Guru Nanak. And one of my friends from Washington invited me and asked me to speak a vote of thanks. And I said, the United States Constitution says we are all people, in God we trust, and everybody, regardless of their age and background, has a right to work and express. I said, that is Sikhism. United States Constitution, in a way, is basic principle, nothing but expression of Sikh, if you don't call it a religion. And at that time, President Obama, his OT director, Paul, he asked me to submit the writing of my speech. Whether they accept it or not, that's a different story. But that's what it is.
Were you born in India?
I was born in India, yes.
And how
Okay.
long have you been living in the United States?
47.
Oh, for a long time.
So you came here as a baby.
Kind of. I got educated in India. I'm an engineer by profession. A power generation engineer. I worked for Siemens here in Orlando. So when I got here, my first job in factory as an engineer. So that's how it is. Any questions, please don't hesitate.
So your children were born here in the United States?
Oh
or?
no, my all the 3 children born in India.
Oh, okay.
But your youngest was a baby, she was only 2 years. Yeah. So, but they are very much American.
How many children do you
I
have?
have 3.
Okay.
2 daughters
Curious.
and 2 daughters and a son. The oldest is she's the CEO of Chamber of Commerce of Central California.
Oh, okay.
Is this lady your lovely wife?
Yes,
Oh.
I don't have a girlfriend. Second is Sani, who's an ophthalmologist. Third is a dentist. She's the girl.
I think I remember you saying they're not rituals
No.
with it. So are there any unique practices when it comes to sickness, death, or burial?
Well,
things like
anytime there is a burial, we just again sing the glory of God. We decide from Guru Granth Sahib, and that's right. There's no specific ritual. Every time marriage be death means everything, we pray by thanks for your gift of life. What whatever happens is acceptance. One important thing in our Sikhi is Mana Manana, means accept whatever has happened. Accept it. Because if you don't,
Do you go back to India? When was the last time?
I have not gone last 3 years, I guess.
Okay,
But my parents are gone.
that's recent, yeah.
Yeah, my older brother is gone, my sister is gone. So I don't have any immediate family back in India. And at the same time, environment right now in India is not a very good environment. The current politics, I don't want to touch this subject, but it's very fascist. The right-wing Hindu parties, they're trying to subvert the non-Hindu religions very seriously. I don't feel safe when I go to Sikhs were the ones who initiated the struggle for freedom of India from British. They are the ones who did the maximum sacrifices. Yet the power is in the hands of those high caste Hindus who want to impose this religion on everyone.
I don't know if you can address this, and I don't want to drift too far into politics,
Go ahead,
but
go
I had been reading a little bit about, and it seemed to be very controversial, caste law in India. That seemed, my sense was it was outlawing the caste system, but there seemed to be pushback and some other
That's
kind
what
of
I'm trying
concern.
to tell you. That's what the Hindu right wing is trying to do.
They're trying to eliminate the caste system?
No,
or
not eliminating. They're just trying to maintain it.
maintain it. Okay, that's what was confusing.
No, their version is that Hindu Brahmins were born from the head of the god.
Right.
Kshatriya, who were the warrior class, were born from the chest. The business class were born from their belly. The Shudras were born from their feet. The caste system in India is a curse. The cancer of the Indian society. And people cannot get rid of it because the mind is so ingrained over centuries. That has gone into the DNA. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks so much for coming. It's my great pleasure. Any more questions? If you come think of any more questions, would like to give, I'll try to answer.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next month for our lecture series on humanism.
Okay.
Monday, what's that date?
August 12th.
August the 12th, 12 o'clock. All right, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.